My favorite thing about the holidays is spending time with friends and family.
You don't have any friends.
December is a time of year when there's just a lot of parties. There's a lot of social events. Think about it. You have your company party, your significant other's company party, things with friends and family, and the actual holidays. When you add that all up, there's too many events to totally avoid, and there's too many events to really try to be perfect and try to be super strict on your nutrition habits. What we recommend is trying your best to just be a human being, but setting a line so you know how far you can go at each event. Step one, we recommend setting a calendar. So actually sit down with a blank calendar of the month of December and just write all the parties and all different events that you have, so you can actually know for sure how many different events you're gonna have to navigate. Once you determine the number of events that you have in a week, then you can really decide how strict you should be throughout the rest of the week. So if you're somebody who has a week where there's 5 or 6 events, then we recommend really tightening up your nutrition habits around those events, but not necessarily during. No matter how many different parties you have to contend with in any particular week, we want you to use 4 strategies to try to limit the damage. The first one's super simple. Just drink enough water throughout the day and at the event. Everybody's water goal is different, but a good starting point is about half your body weight in ounces. So if somebody weighs 200 pounds and they actively exercise, 100 ounces is a great goal. Understand this is something we can work up to. So if you don't drink much water, maybe start at about 60% of that as your goal. If you normally drink 30 or 40 ounces of water and you up it to 60 ounces, it'll help keep you hydrated short term, and it will help prevent that confusion between thirst and hunger. The human body doesn't know the difference between mild underhydration and hunger. So we just want you to get ahead of it and make sure that you're not grabbing snacks and having your willpower drop when all you really needed to do was grab a glass of water. The next strategy is to eat frequently throughout the day. It's pretty common. I mean, think back, we just passed Thanksgiving. Look at your day. Did you skip breakfast? Did you maybe not have the snack after breakfast between breakfast and lunch? Or did you push the timing of your lunch or skip it because it's almost time for Thanksgiving dinner? The same thing happens throughout the month of December. So let's make sure you just eat frequently. Just eat every 2 to 4 hours and be reasonable about what you eat, but don't try to be perfect. Eating with that frequency will help make sure you're getting enough nutrition so that your body doesn't trick you into overeating when you get to the event. It's party time. So you're at the big event. When you sit down for dinner, just make sure you have a reasonable protein source and some veggies on the plate, and then decide what little treat you're gonna give yourself. The typical offenders for people are appetizers or snacks before, bread right before the dinner starts, a starch in your meal, and alcohol or dessert. We're not trying to convince you to be superhuman and have the world's best willpower. We just want you to pick one thing to enjoy so that you don't end up indulging on all the things. So if you're somebody that wants to have some adult beverages, just skip the rice or skip the pasta, don't have bread before the meal, and say no thank you to dessert. If you're somebody who likes sweets, skip all those other things and have a reasonable sized portion of dessert. It allows you to not only avoid looking like a total weirdo, but you get to leave the party satisfied that you at least had some fun. If you're trying to take this one step further because you're a little deeper into the habits or you're just super motivated right now, just try to limit the total amount of carbs you have in the meal between all the different options I just mentioned. For most women, 20 to 30 grams of carbs in a meal is a reasonable amount. And for most men, 40 to 60 grams of carbs is totally okay. Even though you might choose options that aren't in your typical meal plan, we're still making sure that you don't go too far in terms of carbs and overall calories.